Hi everyone, this is Dawit from Is Good Woodworks in Seattle, Washington. Today we're going to be doing a certification video. This time we're going to be doing a bandsaw. So let's get this baby fired up and I'll show you guys how it works. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys the parts. This is the bandsaw table. And we have here the rip fence or the fence. And this right here is the crosscut slot that the miter gauge rides on. And we have a piece of wood here. And this is how you cut, crosscut. Inside the bandsaw table, we have two wheels. One on top, one on the bottom. The bottom wheel is powered by that motor you see on the bottom there. It helps it rotate clockwise as it has a bandsaw blade wrapped around both wheels. As the bottom one spins clockwise, it also spins the top wheel clockwise. And the force from the bandsaw blade is downwards. That would help securing the wood down as it cuts. This blade held straight by tension, but you can still move it. This is the blade guide, which limits how far this moves. There's another one directly below the table. These two wheels in the front are lightly touching against the blade. As the blade goes down, these wheels that are sitting on the bearings, they spin with it to eliminate friction and also to keep it from moving side to side. The back wheel is directly centered and behind. That also helps the blade from moving backward as it goes down. This is a blade guard lock here. Sure. And this is the blade guard itself. So you got to make sure to lock this. You just want the blade guard to be slightly above the actual wood you're working with. This is why. All right, so bandsaw is one of the safest saw out there because the force of the blade is a straight down in a very controlled area and is well backed up and is relatively moving slow, but it's also capable of doing the largest cuts. So you always want the wood to be consistently fed or right next to the blade. Like that. The bandsaw table is relatively small and it's meant that you can work closely to the blade as you're moving around. Because the table is small, it makes it hard to support the wood that you're working with. So you never want to hold the weight up by holding this side of the wood. Especially if you make the mistake of having this slightly higher, you can see what kind of damage you can cause. Because it makes it really hard to maneuver around the blade by supporting the wood from this side. So before you get to a tipping point, you are required to be on this side of the wood and support as you're pulling so you can see what you're cutting all the way through. And if the wood is extremely long to the point where you cannot control it by not staying close enough, get some help. Do not use the roller support. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. Before you make your cut, the blade guard needs to be close to the wood. If you need to go around the table to finish your cut, you need to lift up the guard blade to the point where you can see the cutting point from the other angle. This is resawing. Resawing is when you cut right through the width of the wood on edge against the rib fence. If the wood that you're cutting is higher than the fence, then it wobbles. So therefore, you are forced to put a higher fence against the rib fence here, and by screwing it right through these two holes against that. And now we adjust, lock this up, and make the cut. You can also tip the table to make a bevel cut by coming around, unlocking this here, and then tilt the table to desired angle. I think I'm going to get right about there and lock this secure, and I'm going to do one cut. And this is what I made. Little serving tray. That concludes our video for bandsaw certification here at Is Good Woodworks. Thank you so very much for watching, and we hope to see you soon.